The Necklace, written by Guy de Maupassant. As you can see in this picture, this story is all about the necklace. Now, we'll try to understand the story with the help of summary and we will analyze the summary. Mathalet is a pretty and charming woman who was born as if through some blunder of fate into a middle class family without a jury or a point of entry into a high society. She is unable to find a wealthy husband and so she marries Mr. Lozil, a clerk who works for the Ministry of Education. Analysis. The opening line, the necklace, introduced Mathalet as exceptionally beautiful woman with an ordinary social situation. From the starting point, the reader can anticipate the link between beauty and the social ambition that will be explored throughout the rest of the story. Now, though Mathalet has always been middle class, she grieves as though she is actually a woman who has come down in the world. Perhaps this is natural for beautiful and charming women like Mathalet. As for women, their beauty, their grace, and their charm serve them in lieu of birth and family background. Appearance and poise then can be make beautiful women without means the equals of the grandest ladies. Analysis. By claiming that beautiful women without means can be the equals of the grandest ladies, Maupassant suggests wealth and social status can be earned by beauty. Mathalet completely buys into this idea, which leads her to be dissatisfied with her modest life. Now, next, Mathalet is therefore constantly unhappy because instead of delicacies and luxuries for which she believes she was born, her life is shabby. Though another woman of her class would not even notice, she is dismayed by the sight of her unfashionable apartment and her humble maid, preferring to lose herself in daydreams of hushed antechambers with oriental hangings and large drawing rooms lined with ancient silk. Analysis. Mathalet's unhappiness stems from the false set of expectations. Because she is beautiful, Mathalet believes she is entitled to the glamorous life of rich and is driven to despair by her humble surroundings. To escape this reality, Mathalet loses herself into a world of dreams and illusions where she surrounds herself with the trapping of wealth. But of course, none of this is real and therefore Mathalet cannot truly be happy. However, the fact that Mathalet has a maid already suggests that her discontent is out of proportion with her non-uncomfortable life. Next, her husband on the other hand seems much more content, declaring over dinner, "Ah, good stew. I don't know of anything better." Meanwhile, Mathalet dreams of fashionable dinner parties and exquisite courses served in wondrous vessels. Mathalet's unhappiness seems to be a matter of choice, since her husband, who lives in the same condition, is perfectly happy with a good stew. Mathalet focuses on the things that she does not own rather than small comforts of life, suggesting that an insatiable appetite for material possessions is a great source of unhappiness. So, next, one day, Mr. Lozil comes home with an invitation to an elegant party hosted by a minister of education. Despite the fact that he went to endless trouble getting such a sought after invitation, Mathalet initially rejects the offer to attend and is close to tears when she tells him that she does not have anything suitable to wear. Now, analysis. Mr. Lozil cares a good deal about his wife and goes to great lengths to make her happy. Madeline is unhappy despite her husband's best efforts, once again showing that her unhappiness is greatly exaggerated. Next, seeing how unhappy Madeline is, her husband asks what it would cost to buy her an outfit. Madeline contemplates for a moment, then asks for 400 francs, which is enough to buy a nice dress but not enough to bring about an immediate refusal from the thrifty clerk. Analysis: by knowingly asking for just the right amount of money, Madeline seems to be taking advantage of her husband's generosity, revealing some of the negative personality trait that lurk beneath the surface of her outer beauty. Next, turning briefly pale, Mr. Loziel agrees to give Mathilde the money even though he had been saving 400 francs to buy a new rifle in order to go hunting with his friends on the plains of Nantre. Analysis: Mr. Loziel sacrifices his own happiness for the sake of his wife's, demonstrating his generosity. Unlike Mathilde, Mr. Loziel does not find unhappiness in material possession but rather in the happiness and the company of others. Next, on the day of the party, Mathilde's new dress is ready, but she is still unhappy. When her husband asks her why, she says that she is embarrassed not to have a jewel to wear over her gown. Mr. Loziel suggests that she purchase two or three roses for 10 francs, but Mathilde responds that there is nothing more humiliating than looking like a pauper in the middle of a rich woman. Analysis: Mathilde always wants more. Her desire for material possession is never satisfied, once again demonstrating that things are not the key to lasting happiness. Mathilde sees expensive objects as a way to look rich, forgetting that she is not as wealthy as she would like to appear. Next, at her husband's suggestion, Mathilde decides to pay her wealthy friend Madame Frostier a visit in order to borrow some jewelry. She looks through every item in Madame Frostier's jewel box, eventually settling on an expensive looking diamond necklace. For the first time, Mathilde is happy as she stands in ecstasy, staring at her reflection in the mirror. Analysis: by picking the most expensive looking item in the Madame Frostier's jewel box, Mathilde reveals her greed and a superficial understanding of value. By looking at herself in the mirror, Mathilde also reveals her vanity. The flatness of the reflection echoes Mathilde's superficial and illusory appearance of wealth. Now, at the party, Mathilde is a huge success and she is lovelier than other women and is noticed by the important officials and even the ministers himself. Lost in a cloud of happiness, Mathilde dances, intoxicated, swept away, heady with pleasure. Analysis: Mathilde's success at the party hinges on her beauty, seeming to give truth to the notion that beautiful women without means can become the equals of ladies in high society. However, writing that Mathilde is lost in a cloud of happiness and intoxicated with pleasure, Maupassant anticipates that this night of happiness will not last and that there is something not quite real about her success. As they are leaving the party, Mr. Loziel covers Mathilde with the wraps that he had brought from home, modest garment of ordinary life, their poverty clashing with the elegance of the ball gown. Embarrassed to be seen by other women who are trapped in expensive furs, Mathilde runs outside and onto the street. Analysis: Overcovered by the wraps, Matled's appearance of wealth vanishes and she is once again embarrassed to be seen by wealthier women in their expensive furs, bringing her night of happiness to an end. Thus, this sudden shift in mood demonstrates the power the Mathlete invests in objects, since for her the wraps represents everything that she finds lacking in her life. Now, unable to find a carriage, Mathlete and her husband walk towards scene. Desperate and shivering, they eventually find a carriage, but it is those old nocturnal bourgons that you see in Paris only at night, as if they were ashamed of squalor by day. Analysis: Mathlete and her husband's downcast mood as they search for a carriage further demonstrates that things are back to normal. Like the wraps for Mathlete, the squalor of the carriage represents a return to her unsatisfactory reality. The carriage drops them off at their apartment on the Rue des Martyrs. Matlet realizes that it is all over, meaning that her night of happiness and social recognition has come to an end. Stopping to admire herself one last time in the mirror, Matlet suddenly realizes that the necklace is gone. By proclaiming that it is all over, Mathlete recognizes that her happiness at the party gained only through her beauty and her illusory appearance of wealth was only temporary. The Lozier's address on the Rue des Martyrs introduces the theme of martyrdom and foreshadows the sufferings that follows. The reappearance of the mirror once again demonstrates Mathlete's vanity and her obsession with appearance. Thus, the end of part 1. We'll continue with the part 2 in the next video. Thank you so much.